Welcome to the weekend edition of In the Game. I am Onyinyechi Obaro. This is where we keep you updated in the world of sport on the African scene. To keep up, you follow our social media platforms at News Central TV. Do not forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hashtag In the Game. Join the conversation. Today is going to be one of those days we do the countdown for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. All road leads to the city of love, where we've got different colors that will be on parade, different athletes, different sport that will be on parade in the Love City. And I must remind you, the opening ceremony will be one like no other. It's going to be a parade at the River Seine, not the usual track parade for the opening ceremony. So keep your date crossed for 26th of July as we await that incredible opening ceremony. Before we go into the conversation deeper, let me run through our top 5 stories making the rounds in the world of sport. French Ligue 1 club Lyon, they are considering 2 loan options for Nigerian forward Gift Orban. The 22-year-old who joined Lyon from Ghent for 14 million euros during the last winter transfer window has struggled to find his footing and has quickly lost confidence. With Alexandre Lacazette staying at Lyon this season, along with confirmed signing Mama Balde and the arrival of Georges Marcottesi, playing opportunities for Orban have become scarce. Journalist Olivier Salmon reported that Lyon's management is looking to offload Orban on loan, even permanently, where they will try to minimize the financial loss. 2 potential loan destinations are on the table for Orban, one option at the Botafogo in Brazil, and a move that might not be as attractive to European and African footballers under 30. Alternatively, we've got Lyon, who are considering a loan move to Major League Soccer, that's Colorado Rapids. This move is tied to ongoing negotiations involving Canadian defender Moise Bobito. If Bobito's transfer goes through, he could be released on loan by the Rapids, paving the way for Orban to join the American side. I'm really worried about Orban here because I remember his time at Ghent. He was doing wonderfully well. Of course, poaching goals at different match days. But why this move to Lyon, having to topple his career right now as a striker? We would stay on this story and bring you developments after. American sprinter Quincy Wilson has once again rewritten the record books, breaking the 400 meters world under 18 record with an astonishing time of 44.20 seconds at a meet in Florida. This marks the 4th time this year that Wilson, with 16 years old, that he has surpassed his record, solidifying his status as one of the track and field most exciting young talents. The performance occurred under the lights at the University of Florida in Greenville, where Wilson competed against some of the nation's top professional runners. Wilson's exceptional speed and endurance were full on display in the race that saw multiple personal bests as he pulled away from the runner-up Bryce Deadman in the final stretch. Notable among the competitors was Matthew Bolin, who finished 3rd with a personal best of 44.84 seconds. But this 16-year-old is one to look out for. He keeps breaking the records in the 400 meters. So if he steps on the track at the Paris Olympic Games, it's going to be something that the likes of Ezekiel Agazi will have to struggle with. Away from here, the world of football says Argentine government spokesperson Manuel Adani has affirmed that the relations between Argentina and France remains absolutely intact. This word was quoted. This is following recent controversy involving Vice President Victoria Villarreal and Argentina national football team. The dispute arose after Villarreal described France as a colonialist and the French as hypocritical. This is due to their approach to the whole racial chants and the song be rendered by the Argentine national team. Her comments came in the wake of the debate sparked by chants from the Argentine national football team known as the Albiceleste, that's Albiceleste, which, Albiceleste, I beg your pardon, which were perceived as racist and homophobic. Adoni's statement appears to be an attempt to smooth over potential diplomatic rift caused by the vice president's remark. The Albacete state, they are on the verge of this investigation by the FIFA, that's Federation of International Football Association. Let's listen to the man himself. Oh, we would rather time not our friend right now. We have to move away from that, go to the next story. The next story in our top 5 will be the International Olympic Committee, IOC. They have announced that the 2024 Refugee Olympic Team have arrived in France ahead of the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. As the team, coaches, athletes, staff, they gathered in town of Bayeux in the Normandy. A total of 37 athletes from 15 countries and regions are members of this year's Refugee Olympic Team. They will compete in 12 events at the Olympics, marking their first time coming together as a team. In Bayeux, the refugee athletes will continue to prepare for the Olympics by using top-notch training facilities to foster team cohesion and help them get to know each other better. They will also participate in a series of team activities. The Refugee Olympic Team will soon head to Paris to move into the Olympic Village. This will be the third appearance of the Refugee Olympic Team because they made their appearance at the Tokyo 2020 Games, the inaugural team for 10 athletes at the Rio Olympics. So the third time they are making their way to the Olympics. These are those migrants who have been able to pitch their tent at a particular place, and now the refugee camp, they have also the right, given the privilege to participate at the Olympics for those who love sport, different sports of their choice. Finally, in our top 5 story, the world of boxing. Oleksandr Usyk is continuing his efforts to raise awareness for the ongoing war in Ukraine. Russia invaded the undisputed heavyweight champion world, the homeland, in February 2022, where he initially joined Kyiv's territorial defense force, as Usyk later left the country to instead represent Ukraine at the international stage by continuing his boxing career. In his most recent triumph, he achieved legendary status by beating Tyson Fury to be crowned the undisputed heavyweight king. Now, though, Usyk has returned to Ukraine and traveled to Orban, a devastated city at the outskirts of Kyiv. He previously helped United 24 to raise 224,000 euros, of which he contributed 150,000 euros himself to rebuild a house at the 14H Senka Street. The main reason the building caught Usyk's attention was because it houses a gym at which his acquaintances used to pitch their tent, but right now has been destroyed due to the war, and he has been able to donate that sum for the rehabilitation of that particular building. There you have it, our top 5 stories at this time. Return with more updates in the world of sport. It's going to be an all-women affair here in the studio on In the Game, so don't go anywhere. Join me again as we go on this quick break. What's in the game? If you just joined us, we wrapped up our top 5 stories. You can catch up. Get to follow, like our social media platforms at News Central TV. Do not forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel and engage the hashtag In The Game to join the conversation. Talking about In The Game, we make it an all-women affair over here in the studio. We've got Anastasia Nwankwo joining me on In The Game today. Thank you so much, Anastasia, for joining me on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right, I always like it when we have the women affair here, but there's a lot to catch up with in the world of sport, and athletics will take our attention right now. I know that is just 6 days to the start of the Paris Olympic Games, and we're already seeing a lot happening just in preparation for the Games. So far, which has caught your interest just en route to the game?
Okay, en route to the Olympics game, what has caught my interest is Toby Amusan's performance, because in the Holloway Classic, she came second, which for me is not really a panic for me, because I know what she's capable of under pressure. So because she came second, the person that came third is the person that ran the fastest time this year in the US. So for me, when it comes to the big stage, I feel that she will deliver because she's the world champion and she's a record holder. So for me, and also favor Philly too. I can't undermine what she has been doing. She won both 100 and 200 meters in the Holloway Classic. So she's doing well, and I believe because we've not been having good performances in the Olympics. Our best performance is in 1996 Olympics that we won like 3 gold medals or 2 gold medals. So this generation, we believe they are going to bring a lot of medals too. So I believe in Fewofili, I believe in Amusan, and I feel that they are leading the line in the athletics that are bringing home, even if it's not gold, silver or bronze, at least a medal.
All right, I'm not surprised that you had to pick out 2 incredible women to, you know, show the spotlight here with what they are doing in preparation for the Paris Olympic Games. Still talking about Tobi Amusan and Ofili, we have them on our radar today in the conversation. But I will start up with the man on parade at the Holloway Classic. That's Ezekiel Nathaniel. He delivered a stunning performance at the Holloway Pro Classic in Florida. He clinched victory in the men's 400-meter hurdles and with a commanding time of 48.21 seconds. The Nigerian athlete led the race from start to finish, showcasing his exceptional skill and speed on the track. Nathaniel's closest competitor, Chris Robinson, crossed the finish line in second place with a time of 48.96 seconds compared to what Nathaniel garnered over there. So you should know that this is one to look out for at in the international games, the sporting fiesta. Now, still delving on that Tobi Amusan and Favour Ofili, what they had to do at the Holloway Classic. For Amusan, she did not pick the win, but Favour Ofili picked the win in the 100 and 200 meters. Let's have athletics expert Charles Ogundiya, who'll be joining us via Zoom right now. Thank you so much, Charles, for joining me on the show.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Still morning. Good morning to you. And how's everybody in the studio? It has been a good one for Nigeria athletics in recent time, this year especially, and hopefully this will translate to a medal all at the Olympics.
Of course, I wanted to really welcome you, telling you that you are blessed among women today because you're the third guest with me and Anastasia. You did talk about Tobi Amusan, but I'm a bit worried about her performance. We understand that she got a poor start, but she flew over the hurdles very well, conveniently. But she had to make it right for 2 years, this problem of having to start late. So what really happened that she has not had a good start over the year? If her start is on par with others, do you think she can, beat anyone on track?
I will tell you one thing. In the past, it's not about pure stats for Tobi Amusan. It has always been the fact that she will eat hurdles, maybe 1 or 2 hurdles, and then she will have to meet up with others. But this time around, she has gotten over that aspect of eating hurdles. So I can tell you, the first that they are talking about, she had a recent issue of jumping the gun, about 2 back-to-back events, and maybe that is one that is affecting her at the moment. But I can bet you, when you get to the worst stage, you can be rest assured that Tobi, you can imagine she ran 12.49 in her semi-final before the final, which was 12.60. So it's going to get better. That's the truth. I can tell you. The coaches are there. Our coach is there with her, and they will tell her what to do and what not to do at this moment. She has gotten over the issue of the ban issue, so that one is out of it. The issue of eating the hurdles is out of it. The most important thing is for her to know, I'm starting now and I'm going to get it. That's just it.
We just have 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, I'm saying at this time 6 days, or 6 days to the start of the, 5 days, yes, counting by the time, to the start of the Paris Olympic Games, but 2 weeks before the start of athletics at the Paris Olympic Games. Isn't this too short to fix her start? She needs to fix her start. She's going to the Paris Olympic Games, and we are very hopeful that she will get us a medal at this competition. Is the time too short?
Let me tell you the truth. Look at this girl. After winning the world championship, after getting the world record, every competition she participated in, she has been winning. She has been getting us gold. Look at the Diamond League. She has been winning. So getting set, getting ready for this Olympics, I'm not saying yes, she's going to win the gold. I'm not saying she's not going to win the gold. But I can bet you Tobi is going to make us proud. Definitely. Tobi Amusan is going to make us proud in Paris. If you look at most of the coaches that are there in camp, our coach and every other coaches, they are ready to put her at the best performance to get the best performance from her. So we should not just stress ourselves. I'm telling you, Toby will do it for us.
All right, you did mention that maybe she's been affected by all that has happened to her and the false start she had at a particular competition before now. Are you optimistic that she can overcome this in time, knowing that she's capable of doing better timings at the hurdles?
I can't bet you. Don't be surprised that we are going to get, maybe she might even give us another world record again this time around at the Olympics. I'm telling you, the most important thing is for her to get to the final first. That's the most important thing, and it's going to be a big one for her to get to the final. The last Olympics, she finished fourth, if you recollect, and it was because she hit the ordeal. That was why she finished fourth. This time around, she had, like I said, she already overcome the aspect of ordeals, hitting the ordeals. You can see it was flawless, climbing the ordeal, jumping the ordeal. So this time around, it's just for her to just start like every other person. And you know, she just wants to be sure that she's not going to jump the gun, because that's going to be the worst thing happening to an athlete, jumping the gun. This Stark that got to the final with her, that beat her to the gold, they actually did first and second in the heat too.
Heats, yes, I saw that.
Yes, so it's, you know, USA, they have one thing about them. They really want to, how would a Nigerian beat them? That's the problem now. And they really want to do everything within their power.
But I think that is everywhere.
To get it back.
And that is everywhere in sport. You always want to dominate because
Toby is the athlete to beat at the Olympics. I can bet you.
And I know that the hopes of Nigerians lie on her. We really know that she's one of the golden girls, like Ese Brume, and we're really hopeful that she brings back the medal. But let's move away from Toby Amusan right now. Charles and Anastasia. Anastasia did mention about Favour Ofili, and I'll be talking about her right now. She is racking up the wins. I never saw that Favour Ofili would do something magical over there in the 100 and 200 meters. Just over an hour after clinching that 100 meters win, she took the 200 meters and went 22.36 seconds, beating her training partner. Her closing speed this season seems to be unmatched, Charles.
Let me tell you one thing about Favour Ofili. If you notice, Favour Ofili's best performance has always been the 200 meters. And 200 meters has been, yes, that has been our main thing for so long. So I'm not surprised that she won the 100 meters and the 200 meters. But the work starts when we get to the Olympics. I'm telling you, we have Favour Ofili, we have Rosemary Chukwuman, and those two, Olajide,
yeah.
We have the athletes. Yes, we have the athletes. The most important thing, I keep saying one thing: if you can get to the final of most of these events, I bet you we might be seeing so many medals coming from Paris. The most important thing is don't jump the gun. Make sure you get to the final. You can even finish second in your heat. The most important thing is to qualify for the final. And by the time you get to the final, then,
I'm sorry to butt in. I understand that these events, yes, a preparation going into a big fiesta like the Paris Olympic Games, but I know one thing with Nigeria, when we get to international meets like that, after racking up these numbers, we see something else on the day. I'm not playing the devil's advocate here. I remember Enoch Adegoke, he had picked up an hamstring at the final where he had to run. Is this not too much for Favour Ofili, having to run the 100 and the 200 even before, 2 weeks before the Paris Olympic Games? I know she has been fielded in the 200 anyway for Nigeria, but will she be running the 100 and the 200 at the event? And is this not too much for her going into the Paris Olympic Games?
Now, I'll tell you one thing. One thing that we should appreciate this year is the fact that most of these our athletes have not been competing so much like they used to do in the past. Anytime a major competition is coming up, you see them running, and by the time they get to the major championship, they will have won out. This time around, there is difference with what they've been doing. Look at our people that we're talking about. At the national trials, I think Favour did only 200. She was not part of the 100 It has been like that for this athletes. So they'll be able to reduce their level of competition this time around. They'll be able to reduce the competition they participated in. So this is going to help them at the Olympics. They have to get this done. They have to continue to at least compete against the best that are going to the Olympics. And that's what they've been doing. And I'm happy with what she's doing. This is the confidence. This gives them confidence that, no, I can do better than this that I've done. I can get more time. I can get better time with what I've done. So I'm happy with this. I'm happy with what she's doing. And I can bet you it's not really going to affect her. Definitely.
All right, I'll be crossing my fingers and sharing that same confidence with you that this would just be a booster to what she's about to do at the Paris Olympic Games. We have been speaking to an athletics expert, Charles Diya, joining us all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. We appreciate your wealth of knowledge being shared here on In the Game. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
And you too. Thanks so much.
All right, Anastasia, back to this conversation. I'm a bit worried here, but Charles is ensuring confidence that this is good. This is good preparation for them heading into the Paris Olympic Games, which is going to be 2 weeks away from this very day. Do you share the same reservation like I do about how too close these is for athletes like Favour Ofili and Toby Amusan?
I don't share the same reservation with you. Okay. I'm sorry about that, but I don't. I feel that it's a competition. That some people, they thrive in big games. It doesn't matter what they do building up to that game. You might say it's 2 weeks away, but for her, it's not. What matters to her is getting to that finish. And she might decide to finish second, third in her heat, but getting to that final, where she gets it, there is this morale, there is this energy that comes with getting to the final and making sure to make your country proud and get to the finish line. So I believe so much in Toby Amusan because she's already the world champion, she's a world record holder, so she will want to finish it up with an Olympic medal. So it doesn't matter if it's a gold, which obviously, as a Nigerian, we want her to win a gold, but even silver, bronze, we are good with it. So for me, I believe in Toby Amusan and I believe in Favour Ofili. They're going to take us to the finish line. All
right, let me keep my devil advocacy to myself and then wish them all the best heading into the Paris Olympic Games. Let's move away from that. There'll be one African team that will be on parade for the basketball event, women's basketball event at the Paris Olympic Games, and they will be Nigeria's senior women's basketball team, the D Tigress. Now, the D Tigress are stepping up preparation ahead of their game in Paris, and they had to play a turn-up friendly against Germany. In that turn-up friendly against Germany, they were beaten 77-63 in a warm-up game. This is their first loss under coach Rina Wakama. The African champions, ranked 12th globally and 12th in the power rankings by FIBA, lost to 19th ranked Germany in preparation for the game at the Uber Arena in Berlin on Friday. So they have been in Germany, in Saarbrücken, to step up their preparation, and they played their first friendly against Germany and lost to Germany. They still have Serbia to play, but Anastasia, I'm a bit worried because they need to step up their game. Australia, they get to face. They have been very, very woeful against Australia in the past. And they are the first people, and you know what it is about having to play your first game and get the booster. The game against Serbia, I'm hoping that they can dot the I's, cross the T's. But what do you think about this performance against Germany?
Against Germany, for the fact that they are ranked ahead of Germany, they are 12th on the ranking and Germany are 19th, I feel that they were supposed to do better than that. But the issue with Nigerian, the Tigress, is that in their roster, there is no notable person there. Most of them, they play in that. But
they had the return of Ezine Carlo, and I was thinking that their powerful guard would do something wonderful. Or would you say because of her absence, long absence, she has not been able to bond with this current crop of players?
Apart from the Ezine not being absent and all that, I just feel that Nigeria will have done better in recruiting for this Olympics. They have like 4 years to prepare for this Olympics. We have people like Ariko Gumbowa that plays for the Dallas Wings. We could have recruited her because USA snubbed her. We have Chini and Ogumike and her sister Nneka Ogumike that plays for the Seattle Storms. We have recruited her. We have Onyemere that plays for the Chicago Sky. We have recruited her. We have a lot of Nigerian athletes playing in NCAA. We have recruited her that are doing so well. We have one that plays University of South Carolina. We could have recruited a lot of them because they are not affiliated to any country, but we decided to go with our locally made athletes. I'm sorry to say, but for me, I don't see them. Australia are going to destroy the Tigers. Sorry to say that, but for our hope now is they can beat Canada and France.
Already, before the first game.
If they can beat Canada and France, then, but you see Australia, I don't see them surviving with Australia.
Sometimes I tell people not to underestimate the D Tigress. They know how to turn up when needed.
If you
we
say
saw
so.
them in the Afro-basket. They did not have the long training they did before this Paris Olympic Games, but were able to still rack up numbers. Amy Okonkwo came up top for the D Tigress, and we saw Sarah Ogoke, who is not part of the team right now. But at the return of Ezinne Kalu, as I did say, I was thinking we would have more points. She's a point guard. She's one who knows how to rack up the numbers, rack up the points. But we didn't see that against Germany. Would you say they've got this, disconnect when it comes to how they had to bond?
For me, like I said, they don't really have enough time to train together. Most of them, they play in different parts of the world. Unlike Team USA, that most of them play in the WNBA. So
they've been in Germany for 3 weeks.
Oh, they have been there for 3 weeks, but I feel like
bond?
It takes more than 3 weeks for people to because they have to be in sync. They have to play as a team. There is no room for individual game. You might have individual brilliance, but if you cannot play as a team, there's nothing for you. So if they can learn to play as a team, I feel that they will overcome any challenge and they will cross over the hurdle.
Are you worried about Coach Wakama it's her first time taking a team to the Paris Olympic Games? Are you worried that she's not got that experience on that kind of stage?
No, I'm not worried because she has done an excellent job. She has taken them to Afro-basket. They've won it for 4 times in a row. No, she has done an excellent job. But this is her first international tournament. So I feel she should be given a chance to to do what she knows how to do best. So them losing to Germany doesn't really mean anything to me. They have Serbia. I think they're meeting after Serbia. They have Japan. So let's see what they do in those games.
Oh, looking at what they do in those games and the first team they have to face at the Paris Olympic Games, Canada did name a formidable squad going into this Paris Olympic Games, and they are players who are doing racking up numbers in the WNBA. We saw them. 5 of them are in the list for the Canadian squad. Nigeria will face Australia on the 29th of July, and they've just had their first loss as of 19th of July. So 10 days heading in there, they will face Australia in their first game. What does winning your first game or even losing your first game do to you, do to players at a particular game, a particular tournament like the Paris Olympic Games?
Okay, one thing about winning, once you win your first game, it gives you the zeal, the push for you to move on to go. You feel okay, if I can win this, I can make through other game. But one thing about winning, even if they don't win, that shouldn't put them down. Don't winning against Australia because everybody is expecting them to lose against Australia because they have a track record of losing against Australia. But the target there is France and Canada. If they can do well against France and Canada, losing to Australia shouldn't bring down their morale. It shouldn't do anything to their morale because it doesn't really matter. But how you wake up and how you program yourself for the next day, that's what that matters. So if they lose to Australia, it's fine. If they still win, it's still fine. So our target is Canada, France. If they can beat both of them, we are good to go.
I remember at the Tokyo Olympic Games, we had China in the mix. We had the likes of US women in the mix also. But the D Tigress lost to China their final game at the Paris Olympic Games. When you think of the Chinese, you feel no heights. So they will not be able to rack up numbers. But a Nigerian girl who was paraded by the Chinese team did the damage against the D Tigress. They did not win any of the game in Tokyo Olympic Games. This is another Olympic Games. Do you think Nigeria will even win one? Maybe against France? Which of the teams? Against Canada or Australia?
I feel like, for me, we have a better chance of winning against France because we have I think 1 or 2 players playing in WNBA in Canada, then about 3 or 4 in Australia. But I'm not sure we really have a French player playing in WNBA because WNBA is the powerhouse of basketball, in as much as we want to deny that, the powerhouse of basketball. So if they can have a win against France, I think that should boost their morale to know, okay, if we can win against France, or even if they win against Australia, I'm praying that, as a Nigerian, that they should win against Australia, so that at least let them know that, okay, if we can beat Australia, USA is nothing to us. So. Okay,
let's say if they beat Australia, they have a boost. But if Australia defeats them, they have France, so they can have their way, even before they face Canada who are the formidable sides in that group. So you think if they lose against Australia, they can come get it against France?
Yeah, they can.
All right. Let's see. That can be a boost for them. But looking at the male team from Africa that will be representing the continent at the Paris Olympic Games, that's South Sudan. They played turn-up friendly yesterday and defeated the team by 3 points, 84 to 81. Big boost for them. They have another to go up against today. I'm hoping that will not just get into their heads, because the Paris Olympic Games is another level. It's on another level. They have USA in their own group. And USA, wow. You can see that they have another tune-up friendly. And the US team unveiled, in fact, I don't know what to call them, arsenals, ammunitions over there.
They have the 12 best players on that
LeBron
team.
James, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, the likes of Joel Embiid.
Yeah, Steph Curry.
76ers is also on parade. You should know that South Sudan will have to do a lot. But LeBron James came up to say that he's not going to underestimate them, because they've got the height. So in defense, they will be able to defend well. So looking at them ahead of this game, what do you think it will be?
Let's not lie to ourselves. USA is going to destroy them.
Wow.
They are going to destroy them, because they don't need Steph Curry. They don't need Steph Curry, LeBron to play. They don't even need Drew Holiday to play. They can put their second team. They can put maybe Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards. They can put Tyrese, Harry Burton, and Adebayo. They can use their second team, and they will defeat Sudan by I'm not trying to underestimate what Sudan is doing, but they can defeat them by 70 points.
Let me tell you something about the Sudanese team.
Yeah.
They were inaugurated in 2022. And 2023, we saw them step up the ranking. They are Africa's #1 right now as I speak to you. And they were able to make sure that they punched their tickets to the Paris Olympic Games, being the only African side in the Paris Olympic Games. Do you think the US won't underestimate a team like this?
USA, they don't need
Do you want to give it all to the US?
They don't even need to underestimate South Sudan. They don't need underestimation. When you talk about US, if you want NBA, you know what I'm talking about. South Sudan, they should be the #1 in Africa. They should be the #1 in Commonwealth, anywhere. They can't defeat the USA. They shouldn't think about it. They can try, but I'm seeing USA are going to destroy them. There's no two ways about it.
The fact that your name is Anastasia Nwankwo, I want to loan you to the US right now. But it's all good. Representing Africa over here, I'm believing that South Sudan can give it a fight against the US men's national team. Let's move away from there right now. Still talking about the Paris Olympic Games. We hear that France have now announced a ban on hijab for female athletes. This is a bit worrisome for me, because I know of one country, African country, that parades an athlete that dons the hijab. Egypt, in table tennis, has the likes of Dina Meshref, who will be donning her hijab, and she was always donning her hijab. We have Moroccan athletes. We have a Moroccan fencer who had been cleared to participate at the Paris Olympic Games, and she also dons an hijab. I'm wondering what's really happening. The Tokyo Olympic Games, we heard about some ban on alcohol, some ban on having prostitutes around the Games village. But this, Anastasia, are you worried like I am?
Yeah, it's a bit worrying, because this is their fate. You shouldn't, I don't know, you shouldn't make people's fate, because their fate. You should allow them, because other Muslim countries allow their athletes to actually wear hijab. It doesn't hinder their performance, because I'm sure when they've been practicing with the hijab. It doesn't hinder their performance. So I don't know why it's hindering, or maybe it's disturbing the French Federation. For me, it's not a good thing. So they should allow them. Should give them the freedom to practice their faith. So.
But do you fear that there will be announcements of withdrawal anytime soon?
I see that coming. I see that coming, because there are people that they don't joke with their faith. There are people like that. So if you say that, because some of them, they wear hijab every day of their life, nobody has ever seen their faces or their hair. So you don't expect them, because they want them to participate in the Olympics, they will stop doing what their faith requires them to do. Some of them might decide to drop out.
I can read from what the news says. It says Amnesty International, they have been able to speak on the ban. They said the ban breached international human rights laws, and that it prevented athletes from exercising their human right to play sport without discrimination of any kind, as Amnesty International and 10 other organizations called on the International Olympic Committee, IOC, to step in. So France do not come with this kind of ban, to issue this kind of ban just close to 6 days or even five and few hours to the start of the Paris Olympic Games. These are not what we want to see. However, the IOC has responded that overturning the policy was beyond its remit. explaining that freedom of religion is interpreted in many different ways by different states. France is the only country in Europe to prevent a headscarf wearing for women who are participating in most domestic sport competitions. I'm a bit worried here, but Amnesty International are trying to step in here to tell the IOC, speak to your host. They should understand that people have different religions. The way our fingers differ, that's how our belief differ, that's how our perspective differ. And something like the Olympics is where we have different tribe, heritage, different connotations, different religion having to come together for one sporting, intention. All right, let's go to tennis right now. Anastasia, it's been an interesting conversation with you. I want to go further. Let's go to tennis. It's Rafael Nadal right now, and he's through in 3 hours and 58 minutes. That marathon there, he was able to reach the first semi-final of the year. Rafael Nadal, he's one of those athletes that have got this experience of having to, strive in pain. Yeah. Rafael Nadal mentioned that he will be at the US Open. And a lot got into rejoicing. But looking at the score line at which he was able to go past his opponent in this encounter, 6-7, 7-5, 7-5. He was dominant in all 3 sets. Anastasia, this Rafael Nadal, is he going to announce this retirement soon? Because we are waiting, taking the time.
I don't see him slowing down any soon, but because of maybe due to injury, because he has not played for almost a year. So I feel due to injury, at some point you have to give into your body, because I think he's 38 years old. So
yeah,
he's getting to that stage where he has to give into his body.
But this man seems unstoppable. 3 hours, 58 minutes. He was playing. He kept playing for 3 sets, dominating.
Yeah, he is, because he's best. He was once like the #1 in the world, not once, like severally. He has won a lot of Grand Slams. So we expect the best from him in Swedish Open, and he's announcing that he's coming to the US Open, which I'm very glad for him, because he has not. I think he missed the last US Open. So for him, working all the way through his injuries and everything, coming to that US Open, he's also going to the Olympics representing Spain. So I feel that we're supposed to see exceptional things from him. So let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes, but I think that the future is bright when it comes to Spaniards who are dominating tennis. Carlos Alcaraz has been stepping up a very long time on clay. He's now the new king of clay. But one king, the king who has been the king of kings, he's still very dominant on play. Having to play 3 hours, 58 minutes, I'll say it's a very long stretch of a time on court. So great one for Rafael Nadal there. Let's move away and tell you that in the world of boxing, we have Tyson Fury in the news. And big surprise for us is to say that he has been removed from the rankings. I'm wondering what really happened. Is this due to the video we saw online where he was, intoxicated with drink and was seen, stepping out of a bar? But the Gypsy King recently lost his fight to Oleksandr Usyk. He was supposed to get that title of an undisputed heavyweight champion, but lost to Oleksandr Usyk. I think that really affected him. But big surprise is that the IBF heavyweight title, they've removed him from the rankings. Anastasia, is this something we want to hear before the rematch against Oleksandr Usyk?
Yeah, I want to see a rematch, because he's both of them, the Ukrainian Usyk and this Mike Tyson, what's his name?
Tyson Fury?
Yes, Tyson Fury. They are like heavyweights in the boxing sport. So it will be a very good rematch, and it will be good for the for the economy, because they bring in a lot of money. So
okay, yes, I know, but he has been replaced by Zhelovlov, who is sitting at 13th right now. If I want to talk about the power rankings for boxing, pound for pound rankings, I would have Tyson Fury sitting in 2nd, due to the fact that Oleksandr Usyk has the undisputed heavyweight that has taken him to the top of the rankings. But by your own ranking, the pecking order, do you see Tyson Fury in the top 3?
He's supposed to be in the top 3.
So
because I was quite surprised when I saw that he wasn't in the ranking. He's supposed to be in the top 3, because he's like one of the best.
Who makes your top 3?
Because he has been winning. I think he has gone undefeated for a very long time. He has always been only been defeated like once or twice. So I think he has been in the game. His skin has been in the game for a very long time, that he deserves to be in top 3.
Who makes your top 3? Who makes your top 3 in boxing?
Okay, I'll say maybe Tyson Fury, Usyk, then maybe I think I like Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua?
Yeah, I do. I do like Anthony Joshua. In as much as he's losing a lot, but I like Anthony Joshua. So
I'm wondering why he was taken out of the ranking, but we'll get more, we'll follow up on that story to know what has made his retrieval from the ranking by the World Boxing. Now, instead of only calling the WBA, WBC, and WBO belts at stake, however, Fury could yet become an IBF champion once again if he beats Oleksandr Usyk in the rematch of the undisputed heavyweight bout. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we will go into the world of football. Welcome back and still watching In the Game. We just wrapped up the first session without football, and it's time to go into the world of football. I still have here with me in the studio Anastasia Nwankwo. Thank you, Anastasia. It's been an interesting conversation so far. Now let's go to the world of football. Day long waited for the world of football, and it's here. The Super Eagles of Nigeria is taking our attention right now. We have been waiting. When will the new coach be announced? It's just few months away from the qualifiers for the African Cup of Nations, and Nigeria have been pitted against teams who have beaten us so far in this 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Benin Republic and Rwanda are the teams we do not want to take for granted. But we do not know our coach right now. The Nigerian Football Federation are trying to rack up names, to get a technical advisor. They say a foreign technical advisor. So far, Anastasia, with the fact that we do not know the leeway right now, we do not know what is ahead, we do not even have an idea of what's happening with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Aren't you concerned?
Right now, for now, because there's nothing to even know about, because they didn't qualify for the Olympics, first and foremost. So then Finidi George leaving the position after 2 games, I guess, because they drew against South Africa and they lost against Benin Republic. I just feel as a Nigerian, we should have given him like more chance, because most great coaches they start bad. They might start bad as maybe their first 2 games they might lose, but that doesn't give me.
Do not have the patience. We always do not have the patience.
We don't have the patience as Africans. We have
the African Cup of Nations because we got to the final in Côte d'Ivoire. We do not want to lose out on the opportunity to qualify once again. We have the 2026 World Cup. Only one team will have to make it out of 10 games being played in our group. So we have a lot at stake. Do we have that patience? We do not.
Okay, if you say so, we don't have the patience, but who do you want to put in charge? Because Nigeria, we're not ready to spend money. We have a lot of Renard from France that just they're stepping down, the French women team. The coach is stepping down after the Olympics. So we could have gone for him, but Nigeria
do we have the money to afford have a Renard?
Yes,
Renard has been the coach of Saudi Arabia before. Saudi Arabia are ready to spend once again.
Yeah,
they have been able to rack up the stakes.
That's it. We are not ready to spend money to get available good coaches.
So let's just take out Renard from our agenda. We cannot afford him.
Okay, and then we have local coaches, we have legends in the game, like Amokachi, we have people that are ready to take up the job.
Another indigenous coach? Look at what happened to Finidi George. Do you think we should stick with another indigenous coach?
We could have just, tried and just, there's no harm in trying. It could have just gone, but because now I heard that they're going through the direction of Rodolfo Zapata from Argentina. Yeah. So for me, I kind of, his record, I don't know, in as much as he has not managed internationally or maybe done any big thing, he has just managed a small club. He hasn't managed a club in Nigeria, Sunshine FC in Nigeria. He has managed in Botswana, South Africa, Kenya, Leopards FC in Kenya. But for me, he hasn't really done something big. But who am I to underestimate? Because now I want to use an example. Like Lionel Scaloni of Argentina. Before he took over Argentina, nobody knew who he was. In his playing career, it wasn't even exceptional. But see what he has done with Argentina. He has, in 5 years, he has won 4 major trophies. He has won a World Cup, 2 Copa America, and 1 Finalissima. So I can't really underestimate anybody. Anybody they want to come, because I feel that Nigeria are going for someone that is cheap. So that's my opinion. So if they feel that the Argentine will come in and do the job, then who am I to object? So, let's see what happens.
But Rodolfo Zapata, we know that for this job, the criteria is one who understands, has a grasp of what African football looks like. Has he been dominant on the African scene before?
Yes, he has. When you look at his record, he has coached. Almost almost all his coaching career has been in Africa, Botswana, South Africa, Kenya.
Is the Super Eagles a kind of team that he can handle? There is a lot at stake. Joseph Pacero was under the fire. Even if he took us to the final, we still did not want him after that. And we heard that in the conversation, news made the rounds that he called for a particular sum that the Nigerian Football Federation could not meet. Now, this man, his precedence, does it get in tandem with what we see for the Super Eagles of Nigeria? And Anastasia.
For me, the kind of personalities that are in the Super Eagles, the kind of egos there, I find it hard that he might be able to keep up because for me, but I can't really still, predict. But for me, with the Eagles, with people like Victor Osimhen, Kelechi, Ian, I don't know if he's still there.
Players.
I don't know the name of the guy that plays in Leverkusen. I've forgotten his name.
Victor Boniface.
Victor Boniface and all of that. So the kind of personalities in the league, I don't know if we'll be able to control them both in the locker room and outside. So, but if they feel the NFL feel that he's the best person for the job, they can go for him and let's give him a chance and see what he does with the team.
All right, we'll await that. But I must bring you the news that Ogene Caro Etebo, it's good that he's out of injury and is looking to play football once again. He has been able to join up with Turkey's side, Gençler Birliği, and we're hoping that he can continue his football career. Maybe have a chance if he will be given the chance once again to return to the Super Eagles. I know that a lot of people want to see Ogene Caro, who has been manning the midfield for the Super Eagles for a very long time. Also reminding you that UEFA have begun disciplinary process against Spain captain Alvaro Morata and the player of the tournament, Rodri, for singing about the sovereignty claim on Gibraltar at the team's European Championship title celebration. Now, they say two things can bring a man to doom: when he's angry and when he's overjoyed. So I think this investigation falls on Spain being overjoyed and these two players I've mentioned being overjoyed after clinching the title. We would follow up on that story and bring you up to speed with that. Thank you so much, Anastasia Nwankwo, for joining me on in the game today.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. It's been an interesting conversation with you, but you can catch up more, get to follow, like our social media platforms at News Central TV. Do not forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I am Onyinyechi Obaru. Thank you for being there.